I one of the hot takes that I actually put out on the Threads app. It's like it's like kind of like the Instagram.
Yo,
like
Threads
Twitter.
right now is just as good as Twitter was whenever Twitter was like at a peak.
Threads is crazy. Just
Threads is so good.
The fact that I feel like it outreaches towards more people. Like you just be finding people's threads and like they just be popping up on your.
Yeah, the algorithm is so much better there. Right?
It is really crazy because I think I was just one of the hot takes I did put out. I put it out on Threads and I said like I was like DJs and then I said the normal person normal everyday person that doesn't have any musical experience, they don't care that you transition songs out of key, like they're not in the same key basically. Right. I was like, they don't care, they just want to hear
the next
good
song.
Music. Yeah, they just want to hear like you lay down some good tracks. I was like, they don't really care like that you're like, you know, you're staying in the same key or like you're playing in like the, you know, the minor key of that major key, you know, kind of vibe. And it took off. It kind of blew up. I had a lot of people and
were they mad at you?
Literally, bro. Yeah,
a lot of DJs?
A lot. They literally, so many were pissed. They were just like, nah, this isn't it. Or like they would just be like, nah, this isn't true. Like people will literally walk out and leave your sets if you're not doing that. And I'm like, man, no, they're really not. And for me, what was funny though is I feel like it's hard to be the everyday normal person that's not a DJ and being able to comment on that and being like, you know what, you're right. Like everybody that was giving their opinion was like another DJ or somebody that did music.
I think so. All right, let me play devil's advocate here because I'm a musician too, right? So let's see. I think I agree with you. I think you're right. I think the normal person isn't like analyzing what they're listening to in real time.
Right.
Nor would they know. Nor is their ear good enough to know we're in E minor right now.
Right.
So you've got to be, if you want to get,
they play in the parallel major, parallel minor, whatever.
Like nobody's actually saying that for sure. And if you're already like sneak peeking like the next song and they fucks with that song, they don't care. They're like, yo, I hear Missy Elliott is coming, and like I'm ready. Like right. I'm gearing up. You know what I mean? I also think it's partly impossible. Say you're doing like a Bad Bunny night. Bad Bunny doesn't sing in the same like there might be some songs of Bad Bunny that are in the same key, but like. You're gonna go through his whole discography. You're gonna try to figure out a way to keep it all in the same like musical. Like, right. It's ridiculous. Like you're gonna play the hits because you've got an hour and a half, and you gotta play Zafaera, and you gotta play, you know, Titi me preguntó. You gotta play Nueva York. Like you're not gonna be worried about what key these things are in, right? Now, however, I would assume that if your transition is so bad that that the ear naturally goes, oh, that felt weird. That's probably what they mean whenever they say people will like can tell the difference between a good mix versus a bad mix. Because that happens in regular music. Like somebody will like be soloing on a guitar and then they'll hit a wrong note and people will be like, ooh, like you'll see the visceral reaction, but they're not gonna like walk away. You know what I'm saying?
Because maybe in a perfect scenario, I was thinking, because you're just like in a perfect scenario, like I would do a sick ass transition just in general, like because I feel like I have it down, and so I think I meant just like in that instance, like if I have one going in C minor, I have one going in E minor, right? Like let's just say, and like I can still transition them well, even though they're out of key, you know, like but like even when you transition them well, the crowd is gonna react positively, right? They're not gonna be like, oh wait, like this is another song that's in a different key, like this doesn't sound right. Yeah,
and also on a musical level, just to get like even more music theory nerd, like it's not, I would assume that it's also not even about the key. If your chord progression in one song ends in a fucking E dominant is shared by a whole bunch of other keys. Yeah. So then you can switch. You can what's it called? Modal interchange. Yeah. You can change your modality, and then the ear's not going to like freak out about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that there's probably like some even more like deep musical thing there. The other thing though, which I think makes me feel like you're even more right, is that if you were doing musical analysis, if I was in my room right now and I was like, let me analyze Bach or Beethoven, and like you're sitting there like trying to figure out what the fuck is going on.
I've done that before.
It's brutal, but also like there's a time and a place, right? And like you're trying to there's a specific utility and function for that, right? But if you're DJing in a club or in a bar or in a coffee shop or whatever, like part of the DJ's job, my opinion, correct me if I'm wrong, is to feel the vibe of the room.
Yeah.
Part of it is part of the reason why it's communal. Like part of the DJ's vibe is, yes, I have got some stuff that I want to play today because this is what I'm feeling and I have a little bit of say. But also like if I see if I look up and the demographic is mostly women, okay, then I gotta like if I look up and the demographic is mostly men, okay, I gotta like figure this out. Oh, I the job is to keep the party going, right? Or to keep the vibes going.
If the ladies aren't dancing, that's not popping.
And that means that you have to make decisions in the fly that can inform what you need to play or how you're going to be moving from point A to point B, and you don't have the fucking time to be like, what key is this in?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Be like, oh, I've got to do that, and I've got to make sure I stay in A. Like, bruh, stop. Figure out how to get these girls to move. You know what I mean? Figure out how to get people walking through, like walking by that can hear you go, I want to go in there. Like that's the goal. You're trying to like make sure people walk away from that night being like, bro, it was such a great night. Like we danced so much, blah blah. It was good.
That's what
like,
you want.
That's what you want out of that experience. It's not a musical exercise to try to impress musicians.
Right.
It's a curated experience to try and move people in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I don't mean move people like dance, but I mean like actually like move people internally, like move them to do things. But go get another drink, man. I like this place. I want to stick around. Like, you know what I mean? Go gossip more with their friends. You know what I mean? Feel like they're creating core memories with it.
Literally.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the job.
There's never been like, it was funny. I was just talking to a homie and I was like, there's never been a DJ that has made me want like, there's been DJs that played music that has made me want to like dance, made me want to get more drinks, but there's never been a DJ that's gotten on the mic and verbally been like, yo, we got more drinks, we got blah, blah, blah. Like, there's never been a DJ that's like influenced me in that way because it's all through like the music, you know, and also it's all through the music. So
that's a good point.
I feel like some DJs do too much talking on the mic, you know, and it's a little more, the DJs are a little more accessible, but then you start playing some stuff and you like start playing some good shit and then they start coming up to you, like they give you like the little dap or, you know, on the side and they're like, yeah, that was clean. I'm like, okay, yeah, for sure. Like this is working. And I've always been like a type that I feel like empathetically, like always feels the energy in that way of like rooms and stuff. And so I think that's been like, I've been using that to my advantage of just being like just trying to read the room a little bit better. I think I have like a really solid ability of like feeling out the vibe.
Yeah, you're pretty good at that.
And trying to just like make sure that, you know, I can get some people dancing, or I can at least get a reaction from like, you know, the girls to get them start dancing, because that's kind of like what I really like base everything off of. Also, especially like in the club level, you know.
Yeah, a DJ's overall energy is also very important.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because if you're likable and you're up there and people are like, yo, I want to like, this person looks like they're having a good time. They're like, like energy is infectious.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you look like you're having a great time and it almost makes people, it gives them permission to be like, yo, I want to have as much, I want to have such a good time that I look like that dude.
For sure.
And you know what I mean? So then like it becomes like it infects the room and you're just like, yo, this is where we're at. This is it. We're in the flow.
Yeah.
Now.
That's something I've been working on, is just trying to like be more like external with the energy that I have and stuff, you know, because like inside, like I'm obviously having a great time, but I want the people to see that and I want them to feel comfortable enough to be like, oh, you know what, like let's get up and dance, you know, like let's really like try and like have a good time. We're all dancing. Everybody's having a good time. You know, that's what I want to create.
It works the same with like live bands too, because like you don't know what people are going through. You don't know if somebody had a shit day. You don't know if somebody had a great day. You don't know if somebody like is, you know what I mean? Like where they are. So your job is to, as a performer, as an entertainer, is to come in and say, all right, don't know what happened with these 50 people in this room today. Some of you may be here, some of you may be there, but like we're gonna try to all get to the same place. And like
it's a journey.
Elevate.
Yeah, we're on the journey together, basically.
Yeah. That's about as much DJ hot takes that I have.
Okay.
I don't know if you have more. We can go music. I have
probably-
music hot takes. I have musical hot
Yeah,
takes
yeah.
for sure.